Oh my God, we have to do that again.
Okay, did you forget to record it?
Okay, we're doing a different adventure. Show my hat. Today we're doing something a little different. Hubby dropped me off on the AT Trail where we ended last trip, and I'm picking it up there and doing a short section, just me and Cookie. So I'm braving the woods alone. And hubby, I am not hubby. He is hubby. He's going to brave the roads alone as he goes to the end of the section to pick me up. Needed to do this for a couple reasons I'll talk about later. But let's go do this adventure. Cookie's looking for D-A-D-D-Y. I can't say it because she'll get really upset. He walked up the trail a little bit with us, and when he turned around and left, she got a little upset. She started to walk after him a little bit, and I told her she had to come with me, and she's fine with that. I mean, he's left us before and other things, but she likes it better when we all stay together. So every time I stop, she turns around to look to see where he's at. Keep trying to get the frogs in the background on the video. So I mentioned there's a few reasons why I needed to do this today. It's going to sound kind of silly, but I try to be really honest about these things. So I do a lot of hiking and mountain biking by myself all the time. And when I had kids and I was a single mom, I used to take the kids hiking and camping all the time. You know, just me and the kids. And almost every day now, me and Cookie are hiking or mountain biking. But here's the thing. They are trails in my area. Well, sometimes I travel an hour. But, you know, I'm driving there, I'm exploring, you know, and I have gone to new places and explored. Oh, I got to stop and show you this. Oh my goodness, hold on. Look at that. Wow. Is that a beaver house? I think that's a beaver house. So I always kind of considered myself a very independent person because I do all these things alone all the time while the hubby is at work or before I met hubby. And, you know, I got all psyched up to do the Appalachian Trail, and him and I would take practice hikes on sections of the Appalachian Trail on the weekends, and he took a few days off work and we did that backpacking camping trip on the AT as kind of like a test. And I really wanted to do this next section, but the weather and his schedule at work, I couldn't seem to get it where it worked out for the both of us. So, and I got this idea that I really need to do this, even though it's a short section, by myself. And here's the reason why. All those trails that I do, all that hiking and mountain biking I do, I'm by myself, but I'm driving myself there. I'm going to explore, and I'm going to go back to the van and drive home. But when you do a thru hike on the AT, it's a little different. Like, you're not doing a loop and starting from your car and going back to your car. You are heading out, going from point A to point B, and mentally it was just different for me, like kind of scary in a way. And I couldn't figure out why that should scare me. Oh, this would be a beautiful camping spot. Oh, and there's even trees for my hammock. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, it's beautiful next to the lake. I might want to come here and camp out someday. And so mentally, I realized my brain was kind of processing it a little different than our usual hikes. And when I do my through hike, chances are hubby's not going to be able to do the whole thing with me, you know, because of work. And the thought of doing this and being out in the woods alone and in areas that I've never been before and in areas that are a little bit more remote than what I usually go to, because let's face it, you know, when you're in state parks, it's not remote, like not in New Jersey, like not the places where I go. It feels remote, but you know you're only a couple miles away from, you know, a Wawa. So the thought of being out here, you know, in a much more remote area, and it's not an out and back, and it's not a loop, it scared me. And I thought, I have to do this to get over that. I have to do this to mentally prepare myself to be out here alone with Cookie. And the other part was, as weird as this sounds, like, listen, him going to work every day, look, I do worry about him. But, like, when we're mountain biking together and he goes, oh, I want to take a different trail, and he goes off by himself, I'm like, oh my God, because I worry about him. So him dropping me off and then got to spend the next 4 or 5 hours just hanging around and waiting for me or driving around to entertain himself, like, scares the dickens out of me. So I had to do this for that reason, those reasons. But, all right, I got to show you more of this because there's a beaver dam coming up, and Cookie's like, wow, it smells good. Let's go check it out. So she's like, Mommy, the smell's here. So, if I'm going to record while I'm walking, though, I got to really be careful and watch my steps because she's leashed to me. So I got to really watch. Oh, yeah, look at that. Look at that beaver dam. Look at that. All right, I have to put the phone away. I don't know if it'll show up in the video, but to the right is this very long, steep ravine. There's a trail, a little sketchy looking. And there's the beaver dam. I'm trying to keep Cookie from getting in the water because, you know, leptospirosis and stuff. But this is really nice. Cool place to camp around here, that's for sure. Awesome. Alright, Cookie, don't pull on me. She's really excited to be going. That's where I came from. There's a nice little bridge here, that's good. There's the beaver dam. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing that these animals build these. This is incredible. Sure, Cookie's picking up a gazillion ticks and I forgot to spray her. Come on out of the grass, Cookie. Come on. Back on trail. Back on trail. Good doggy. Good girl. I think this is the right way. We just passed an intersection and there was a trail marker right in the intersection, but it wasn't really clear if it went one way or the other way. So we're hoping this is right. I'm looking for another marker. Hoping I don't have to backtrack and add any distance. Oh, look, blueberries. I sometimes wish they would do a little bit better job marking the trails. I was really hoping to get a shot of a beaver. I did hear one splashing around. It was way bigger than a frog moving around in the water. I was hoping to get a shot of him. And there was one point where I heard the tail slap. So when hubby and I parted, I cried a little bit. And Cookie's still looking for him, and I wish he was here enjoying this with me. But mentally I knew I needed to do this. And also even physically, because even when I bonk, when he's there, as much as I want to be a baby because he's there, him being there also in a way gives me strength and motivation. And I think I hike faster when I'm with him. I don't know why. Because I feel like I'm hiking really slow right now. And I'm stopping more often to take pictures and videos. I don't stop as often with him as I do when I'm by myself sometimes. So, anyway, alright. Continuing on. If it wasn't for the power lines, it'd be a beautiful view. Whew. Crickets. Awesome. I think that's an eagle. Look at that. Look how far you can see. It's just incredible. I might sit down here and check Cookie for ticks. That's a vulture. We're not dead yet. That's an eagle. That one's an eagle, I think. Oh no, it's a vulture. Checking to see if we're dead. Cookie's laying down. I better get her moving. Oh yeah, they're getting close. Look at that. Cookie, you gotta move. I think you can eat you. I brought my morning coffee with me. Oh yeah. Cookie's enjoying the break. Dog loves sunning herself. But that's what she was doing at before. That's when all the vultures came over. And then as soon as I started talking, they all left. Now she's laying down again. It'll be interesting to see if they come back. So I had to do 2 rock scrambles climbing up to the top of this mountain. And most people might have been able to just walk up it. But for me, I had to do some hands and knees stuff, or hands and feet stuff, because I'm old and I'm fat and I have bad knees and ankles and my balance is very poor. There was one point when I tried stepping up something and I wasn't leaning forward far enough, and I started to feel like I was falling backwards. and just going up some of the rocks, I'm just not sure of myself, and I am afraid of falling and breaking a bone. But it's not just the pack and the poles and my body. It's also the leash that is attached to me. And I'm also watching the dog as well as watching for myself. So there's a lot going on with a rock scramble for me. So even if it looks like something that I could probably step up, sometimes I will just use my hands anyway. Just for a little bit of safety and security. And everybody always talks about the views, the views, the views. Look at this view. To me, I love the views from the top of the mountains. I always go, wow, because you see so far and you see how many woods are still out there. It's just lovely. But I go hiking to be in the woods. That's what, like people do the Appalachian Trail for the views. But I just want to be in the woods. This is what I want to look at 24/7 for months on end. No houses, no roads, no cars. This is what I want to look at. This is it. This is what I want to look at. Oh, this is beautiful. This, to me, is the view to hike for. Yes. I wasn't going to do a shot of this view, but I figured I'd take it for you people that like views. And Cookie's rolling in the grass. Well, there's a little bit of moss there. She loves rolling in the moss. And after this grassy section, we'll have to stop and do a tick check again. She finally stopped looking for Daddy. She figured it out that he wasn't coming. And now every time I stop, even when I took a side trail to look at something, when she got back on trail, she knew which direction to go and was like, come on, let's go, we're done. And she's trying to tell me, come on, let's go. Right? Oh, look at that beautiful dog. Thank you, Lord, for my beautiful dog. Look at her. I could look at her all day. That right there, my friends, is the view. It's so goofy. It's getting tangled up. Okay, let's go. Let me untangle you, silly dog. I decided to stop and take a little break and have the rest of my breakfast sandwich that I didn't finish this morning. And Cookie was like, yeah, a break sounds good. I want some more water. It's the only thing that stinks about being on the trail. Every time you stop to eat something or whatever, you gotta take your pack off, and then putting it back on really stinks. It's like when I get it off, I don't want to put it back on again. Oh, bother. She thinks she should have this. Wonder how far away is that mountain range way out there. That's really something. Does anybody have an app for that? It's a really cool plant. Wish I knew what it was. It's like something that should grow underwater. Cookie's like, if you're videoing, I'm taking a break. I'm gonna lay in the grass and see how many ticks I can pick up. You can't be tired already. You've only gone, I think, 2 miles. Oh, my doggy. So, the first half of this trail was just lovely. Beautiful, lovely. A little bit rocky, but lovely ferns, nice wide open woods, just gorgeous. Then there was a section that seems like it's going on for more than a mile. That it's in and out of the woods, but it is just high grass. And I've never seen so much poison ivy in a trail in my life. Like, on the side of the trail, hanging over in the trail, there is no way you are not getting poison ivy hiking on this trail today. And I thank God Cookie's sticking to the middle of the trail for the most part. Cookie, get out of poison ivy. Until, of course, I say something. Oh, she just walked through a bunch of poison ivy. Yeah, there's going to be poison ivy in my bed tonight. I mean, there is just so much poison ivy. I didn't want to stop. I didn't want to video. I didn't want to lose focus once because I'm trying to use my trekking poles to push the ivy out of the way so I don't get it on my legs. I pulled a tick off my leg. It was just crawling around. And I've checked Cookie twice. Haven't found any on her. And when she gets a tick on her, she has this funny way of, like, she snaps at it and does this funny mouth thing when she catches it, where she's trying to spit it out. And sometimes she can, and sometimes she can't. She swallows it, I guess. And I haven't seen her doing that even once, but she is standing in a poison ivy right now eating grass. Oh, my God. Cookie! Ugh. On trail. Come on. On trail. Good girl. It's a great command to teach your dog, by the way, on trail. It's just, and it's so easy to teach. But the trail ahead of us looks pretty good. Take a look. So that's where we came from. And that's where we're heading. So we get a little bit of a break from the grass and poison ivy for a little bit, but it looks like it's going to get grassy and poison ivy again up ahead. And I found out that the gate to the road going to the parking lot where hubby is supposed to pick me up is gated and locked because of the holiday weekend. Because yesterday was 4th of July. So that really bites. I was told on the phone by Delaware Water Gap office person that it would be open Monday after 12. I guess he forgot to tell me excluding holiday weekends. So we do have a couple other alternatives. So we'll work it out though. It's no big deal. Look how lovely that trail is. Except for, yes, that is all poison ivy. Oh, sorry about that. It's all poison ivy. Okay. But, and I know some of you will disagree with me, but, you know, at my age, weight, and physical condition, I go, why can't the entire Appalachian Trail be like this right here? Oh. My husband and I always say that the reason why they made the Appalachian Trail so hard is to keep the riffraff out. And maybe that's true, I don't know. And it does a little bit, but we still see riffraff out here sometimes. But yeah, it's a lovely bit of trail. Oh, Cookie, leave that squirrel alone. Come on. Leave him be. Come on, Cookie, on trail. Let's go. Oh, she got herself tangled up. Okay, come on. Come on. That's a girl. Good girl. I lost her treats. I had a bag of treats with me. And they fell out of my pocket some way back. And I went to go get one for her and I was like, uh-oh, we lost our treats. And I did look a little bit for them, but well, some animal will have a nice dinner tonight. All right, come on, Cookie. Leave that squirrel alone. He doesn't want you saying hello. Come on. Get going, baby. Such a good dog. Oh. Those of you that don't take the time to train your dogs to be nice on leash just don't realize how wonderful it is. I mean, I've got her on this long leash. She's not pulling on me. It took us a while to get a good rhythm on these kinds of trails with the leash hookup. But she's just awesome now. Like, going up and down, she's learned how to stop and watch me and judge her pace according to what I'm doing. And she's just wonderful. God forbid if I ever needed a seeing eye dog, she's already almost there. Because when she's going down rocks now, she'll like go down a couple steps and stop and wait. She's awesome. It's awesome stuff. I don't know if that's training or just her instinctive personality. I don't know. This trail, oh, I wish the whole trail could be like this. This is wonderful. Man. All right. Oh, look, a marker. I find this beautiful spot. Beautiful spot with this really cool rock, great camping areas, and what do you see? Riffraff. And you know, I just don't have the room and the energy to pick up their garbage and carry it out. I'm so sick of people trashing the trails. You come out here to enjoy nature, I'm assuming, and you trash it. But what a beautiful, beautiful camping area this is. Oh my God. This is just lovely. Lovely. We may have to come back here too someday. Oh, look at this cool rock. It's just awesome. Oh, people, please take your garbage out. You carried it in. Why can't you carry it out with you? Just drives me crazy. Jerks. Oh, this is such a lovely, lovely sight. So I said I wasn't going to carry those bottles out, but I am. But because it's 3 glass bottles and I don't want them clanking together inside of a plastic bag inside my pack, I had to use my dog's poop bags that I brought for today to put each bottle in its own bag and then inside of a bigger plastic bag so that they don't clank, and if they do break, at least they don't end up all over my pack. And so that means now I don't have any poop bags for my dog. And I guess I'll have to leave it out in the trail. But don't worry, I'll make sure she poops off trail and I have my shovel and I'll bury it. But still, you see how it goes, people? And now I've got to carry this. I don't know. How heavy is this? I don't know, maybe another... That's a good couple pounds. It's like a good 3-4 pounds now I have to add to my pack. This is why I could live out in the woods forever and never see another person. This right here is the reason why. Okay. But praise God for your creation, and don't let a couple of jerks ruin my lovely day today, right? Yeah, okay. So Cookie was standing in a patch of poison ivy and I saw a tick on her, and without thinking, I grabbed her and pulled her back, and so I get the tick off her and realize I just grabbed her and she was standing in poison ivy, so I probably got it all over my hands. But I started to record because I want to show you this. You see that vine right there? No, hold it. Cookie just got tangled up again around something. And hanging right here, that's what I started to record to show you. See that vine? If you are out of water on the Appalachian Trail, you cut that vine and put a cup or a bottle underneath the cut, and you only need a little cut. You don't have to cut through the whole branch. Just put a little nick, tiny little nick in the bark, and it'll keep living. But you put a bottle or a cup underneath it, and within a couple hours, you'll have a bunch of water to drink. You don't have to filter it or anything. But yeah, water vine. Water vines are cool. I've seen videos where people tell you to cut the vine straight through. But please don't do that, because then you kill the vine and nobody else can use it. It's ridiculous to kill it to get the water out of it. You don't need to do that. You put a tiny, and I mean a tiny little cut with your knife. Don't cut down real far. Basically, you're just scratching the bark with your knife, really, and make a tiny, tiny little slit. And you'll get so much water out of that. It'll take a little longer than if you cut through the vine, but this way, over time it seals up and the vine continues to live and produce water for somebody else. It's stupid to cut through the whole thing. And I wish those guys, those survival guys, would stop telling people to do that. All you have to do is put a tiny little slit and the vine will heal up and keep living. Okay, so, but if you're ever out on the 18, you've run out of water and you see one of those vines hanging, you can get water from it. Okay, make sure it's not a poison ivy vine. You got to make sure that it's the correct kind of vine, and the fluid that comes out of it should be clear and should have almost no taste. If it's milky or if it tastes bad, don't drink it. I mean, it can taste a little plant-like, but it shouldn't be like offensive, or shouldn't smell bad or taste sour or anything like that. Okay. Do it at your own risk, though, okay? Oh dear, I pulled my phone out of my pocket and it was recording. So I don't know if the last thing I recorded worked or not. Oh, look at that view through the trees. There's a river down there. I don't know what river it is. The reason why I stopped, though, is look at these cute little pretty pink things. Look at them. They're adorable. They're adorable. The river. Oops. I dropped Cookie's water bottle. Come here, Cookie. Need some water? Here. I brought a lot of water today. I brought like 3.5 liters, plus my coffee. That's all you want? Cookie, want some more? Cookie? No? Okay. You wouldn't believe where I've been keeping her water bowl. I wanted a place where it was easy access. It doesn't go well in the pockets because it's like silicone and it sticks to the fabric, so it's hard to get in and out. And I didn't bring my little homemade pouch that I stick my phones and stuff in because I just put them in my other pocket. So I've been tucking this down my bra so it's easy to get in and out to give dog water. See, we came to this huge intersection. That's where we came from. And it's like, do we go there? Or do we go there? I hate the fact that they don't have better signage. Now, it looks like there's a little bit of a marker there on that tree. But is it a marker or is it... you know, at an intersection like this, they need to have better markers. But we're going to go straight and hope that that's the right way. Hopefully I'll see another marker soon. It's a little bit more distinct than this one. I don't know if that's paint or... Well, I guess it's paint. I don't know. Looks like it's paint. But yeah, they need to have better markers at the intersections. Okay, got that, ATC people? Better markers at intersections so people don't get lost. I think that's another marker, so I guess we're going the right way. It's really wide. This is like a service road. So there's a sign for the other end. And there's the gate. I don't know what I have to do to get to hubby. Look how excited Cookie is! Because there is hubby! Oh, she's yanking on me. Oh my God. Oh, and look at
Water down this way.
H2O water.
Yep.
And I guess there's next time where we got to pick up.
That's the next time we're picking it up.
Wow, this was great. Look how pretty this area is.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh.
I was hanging out with a chipmunk for a while and some birds.
My pack gained 5 pounds during the hike.
Oh, yeah?
Because I picked up garbage. 3 glass bottles that were just sitting there on the side of the trail.
Of course.
But they look like they'd been there a long time.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't leave them.
I'll put them down there.
So, she's so happy to see you. She did pine for you quite a ways on the trail, but when she figured out that you weren't coming, she stopped looking for you. And then you know how she's like, okay, come on, let's go.
Yep.
I'm stopping and videoing. And she's like, come on, let's go.
Yep.
But that picture that I sent you of the bird,
Yeah.
I was doing a little video of the view, and she laid down to sun herself, and within minutes, 3 vultures circling over top. I says, Cookie, you better move. They think you're dead. Oh, it was great.
I'm glad you had fun.
Oh, it was wonderful. Did you have a good time?
Yep.
Did you miss me?
Yes, I did.
Were you worried about me?
I was watching you almost every minute.
That's awesome.
I was going to walk down to the end of the road and meet you at the other place.
Yeah.
Because the ranger said 1 mile, but I guess he's wrong, right?
I don't know.
Well, your guy is probably more reliable.
Probably. All right, turning off the video. So thank you to George. He's a shuttle driver on the list. Oh, look, there's another one. Gave me this tip about having hubby park in a different lot than the Blue Mountain Lakes lot, because then it's like a 2-mile walk to the Appalachian Trail. This lot that hubby parked at is only a ½ mile and on this washed out service road. So that worked out pretty good. Thank you, George, for the tip. And of course now the whole walk, Cookie was good girl, didn't pull. Now she's like pulling a little bit. There's a nice little stream all along here where you can get water. Look at this. Look at that. And it actually looks really clean too. There's no foam. Wow, yeah, it's a nice water source. I would get water. I'd feel okay getting water out of there. Even in New Jersey. Oh, look, jewelweed. Oh, I should rub that all over my legs for the poison ivy. Oh, let me pick some of that. So we're back in the van. Checked Cookie and me for ticks. Found one on Cookie. Look at that cool tree. Hold on. Look at that. The tree on the rocks. It's just really cool. Alright, as much as I love being out in the woods, and as much as I love the thought of primitive living out in the woods, there is one modern convenience that I really do love, and that's air conditioning. It feels so good. If we didn't have air conditioning, I'd have to move to a different state at high elevation and make a underground house. Oh, this was a wonderful gift today. Awesome. So I realized something when I'm hiking. When I'm hiking alone, Cookie is much better behaved than when the three of us hike together. When the three of us hike together, she's a little more distracted, maybe. And maybe when it's just me and her, she would go down a couple steps and then stop and turn around and look at me. I never once had to yell at her to not pull on me. Well, maybe once, I don't know. But I also realized that when the trail is hard and I'm hiking slow compared to the second half of this trail, that trail itself is really easy, and I start hiking faster, now my ankles and my feet hurt a little bit. So there's a trade-off there. When the trail's easy and I'm like, oh, I can do this, and I'm hiking harder, I'm getting sore faster than when the trail's really hard and I'm taking it really slow and easy. So, all right, well, we're gonna go get food now, and thanks for coming along on the hike with me. It was great. I had a great time. I didn't freak out. Things were good. And hubby was so nice to be my support person today. And Cookie. So have a great day. Be blessed and go play with your dog. We stopped at Chick-fil-A and look, there's an Oscar Mayer wiener. Cool. It's pretty funny. So I want to do a recap of the hike I did yesterday. How did I feel when I got done, and how do I feel the next day compared to previous hikes? My feet and ankles were a little sore when I got done. I think that's because the last mile or so I was really hiking fast and hard, and the last half mile of the hike was actually on a washed out road, so it was some pavement and a steep downhill, and I was walking pretty fast because I wanted to get to the car. So that's part of it. The next day, I feel fine. I have no soreness, no aches and pains. My right foot and ankle is a little sore, but it's not bad. It's not stopping me from doing anything. But my thighs aren't hurting. So when I compare the last two hikes I did with the overnight one that we pushed really hard, and I was carrying probably a good 35 pounds on my back, compared to this time carrying between 20 and 25 pounds. Huge difference. And I'm thinking because the overnight one was a harder trail for one, and we pushed it a lot harder than I did the last two, and I'm also thinking a lot of it was the pack, because it was 10 to 15 pound heavier pack. So I've really got to get my pack weight down, because that's, when we did that overnight with that heavy pack, the next day my thighs and legs, I was just, my whole body was just done. So yeah, that extra weight in the pack makes a huge difference. I knew that it would, but I think it had a bigger impact than even I was prepared for. So I got to figure out how to get my pack weight down more. Really can't afford to buy different gear, but that's why I'm also planning my thru hike for next year. So from now till then, maybe a small piece at a time, I can switch over to some lighter gear. On that note, during the hike yesterday, I saw so many places. I was like, oh, what a great place to hang my hammock. Oh, what a great place to camp out. A couple of the places I saw that I really liked, though, all the trees were a little closer together than I like. And I'm thinking to myself, like, if I've got my 10 by 10 tarp and these trees are too close together, how's that going to work? And then I realized, like, tarps that have like the loops on the top, you could string. Now when I hang my tarp, I don't do a ridge line and throw my tarp over it. I don't like to do that because I think the tarp and the rope rubbing together while it's hanging is going to create some abrasions in the tarp. I don't like to do that. So I attach a line from the tree to the tarp on one side, then from the tarp to the tree on the other side. And it works great, and you don't have to carry as much line. It's really, really awesome. But in situations where the trees are too close together and you can't hang that way, I thought, oh, is that why some tarps come with loops on top? So you could string the ridge line through those loops and hang it, and it's, you know, all bunched up but still over you. And I do have a tarp that has those. And then I thought, well, if I take a tarp that doesn't have those ridgeline loops, I guess I'll have to do a solid ridgeline from tree to tree and throw the tarp over top of it. You know, and it'll be bunched up, but at least it's still over you and keeping the rain off you. I just don't like to do that because I feel like, you know, that's where the seam tape is at, is on the bottom, and I don't know how abrasion resistant that stuff is, and I just worry that it laying on the rope, there's going to be some rubbing going on, and it's going to create an abrasion and a hole, and it's going to ruin the tarp. So those are my thoughts. You know, the next day thoughts. Future. Okay, so I told you in the video why I needed to do this, right? This hike. And I mentally, I think I was okay, you know? So I think the next one that I need to do alone without a hubby, just me and the puppy dog, it's got to be an overnight one. Now listen, I've camped overnight without him before, but it was different. Just like I explained in the video, it's different this time. You know, because I'm going to be out there, you know. I mean, I've done some bike camping trips without him, and, you know, but, yeah, I think the next AT trip I do has got to be an overnight, just one night, and camp out, me and the puppy dog, without the hubby. He thinks my trail name, well, actually, was it me that said it or him? I think it was maybe me that said it. I said, oh, that would be a funny trail name. He's hubby, I'm not hubby. Yeah, next trip, it's got to be overnight. All right, let's get to planning that.